Hey everyone, this is Ariel, the Client Service Director of Dental Nachos, and I am here with Dr. Brett Gilbert of Access Endo. Dr. Nacho will be interviewing Brett today about the magic of the Dental Nachos Supreme, since he is one of our key speakers whose episode will actually air next week. So here is Dr. Nacho.
Thanks, Ariel. Super excited to be talking with Brett, one of your favorite toppings, endo. But before we get into endo, I want Brett to share with us what he does. But before we get into that, what time did you get up this morning, Brett?
Oh, I was up at 5 a.m., Paul, every day.
5 a.m., yeah. I have to say, there's been, it's all the Kobe Bryant stuff has been so tough to deal with. There's been a lot of great things, a lot of his, speeches coming out. And I thought of you the other day. I thought of you, Mark Costas, and Rob Montgomery. You can tag those guys because he had a LinkedIn post about the 4 a.m. club, and he said,
Yep.
What is your 4 a.m.? So just, 4 a.m. doesn't have to be getting up at 4 a.m., Kobe said. It could be whatever you do to be successful, but you guys do that. So I always, I admire you. I don't know if I can, what's it called? I can admire you. I don't know if I can mimic you for 5 a.m., but I can admire you.
It's just a mindset, and Kobe, honestly, like in all the personal growth and development that I'm interested in and on the journey I'm on to grow myself and become a better person and be as successful as possible. Kobe's a huge inspiration because as great as he was as a basketball player, he transitioned into an incredible sort of student of life. And so a lot of his thoughts and his practices are things that I do as well. And to answer your question, the 5 a.m. club, I'll give it to Kobe if he did 4. I'll stick with 5. I can't go any earlier than that.
Yeah, stick with that, yeah.
But it's time in the day for me, Paul. And as dentists, we all know, there's not a whole lot of me time. There's not even a whole lot of thoughts about me.
Very true.
And so this is the time I've carved out, and I use it for yoga, meditation. I journal now, which is a new addition since I last spoke to you.
Awesome.
As the new year turns. So this starts my day off in a way in which I feel like I can maximize my success because I'm grounded, I feel relaxed, and I know no matter what happens the rest of the day that I've gifted myself this time.
That's a great message, and we have a lot of cool things coming up together in 2020 we're going to dig into, but one of them is going to be at the Dentist and Team Boost Festival here in Philadelphia, and you're kind enough to come in, but Mark Costas is coming again, so I've arranged for the hotel to not have any hot water the entire weekend, so I hope you're okay with that, because I want to make sure Mark feels comfortable at the hotel, so where you will be, I'm just joking, but he's another one of those early guys, and now he does no hot water in his showers too.
Well, I was just going to say the end of my time alone, the end of my time in the morning is with ice cold as it can come out of that faucet, water all over me. And I tell you what, you breathe through it. And when you turn that water off, man, the day is yours.
Nice. We appreciate that. Well, I'm really glad to have you on here talking nachos. We got some cool stuff coming up. The Dental Nacho Supreme CE on TV. We're doing our first official episode tomorrow night on cosmetic dentistry with the awesome Dr. Todd Fleischman. There's still time to sign up and register. What this is, because you've been so kind to just say yes to all these Paul things, it's going to be 24 episodes of CE brought to you on Nacho Zoom TV. Watch it on your phone, watch it on your computer, watch it anywhere you can. If you watch live and enter the code, you get live CE credits from your couch. If you miss it, you can DVR the episode all year long to watch and rewatch. And I know our dental people, Brett, we're one of them. They love CE, and CE is great, getting CE credits, but I'm really into high impact learning, because what I find in your episode, which we'll talk about on endo, which is a technique sensitive skill, you watch Brett share this, and I want dentists to be able to say, oh, in May, I have a course, I have a case tomorrow. I want to go back to that Brett Gilbert episode, just like we rewatch Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, Game of Thrones, all those shows. So share with us, what are you going to be talking about in your episode of the Dental Nacho Supreme CE on TV about endo?
Well, first of all, I want you to know, so I'm newer to Dental Nachos in the past year. It's turned into like my favorite restaurant. Like I love the group. I love being there. I love you. You inspire me because I think I'm pushing hard. And then I look at Paul Goodman and I realize I still have some work to do, man.
Thanks. I appreciate that.
I went to Dental Nachos and I put up a poll. So I wanted to gauge interest on which topics, because I want to be really precise about giving the nachos what they want. So my title is going to be this. So it's going to get it back here. So it's going to be Key Endo Topics, Nacho Average Dental Lecture. And
I love that. Key Endo Topics, Nacho Average Dental Lecture.
So it's, obviously already the format, Paul, is innovative. I love that about you. I think this is going to be an amazing opportunity for dentists to learn in the comfort of their own home, gain CE. But I want to give dentists the topics that are critical. So what it's come down to is we're going to talk a bit about diagnosis. We're going to talk about cone beam CT and how we use that. And if for no other reason than to open your eyes as to the amazing way that this has absolutely been a game changer in endodontics. We're going to talk about locating canals, because that oftentimes is really the missing link to success or failure in endodontic treatment. And then lastly, talk a bit about irrigation specifically. I'd like to present to the Nachos a bit of the irrigation devices, the newer technology. So I'm going to keep it grouped into those 4 topics into the time period. Obviously, there's so much more I can teach down the road if they're interested, but I want to give this really great opportunity to hit on these 4 really critical topics, and hopefully you have it be really engaging, entertaining, and really enjoyable, and certainly not your average lecture, Paul.
I love that, and I love what you said about learning there, because we're in the same. I have my signs here. If you're a baby age dentist, you're bad. You and I are in this category, medium age dentist, mad. And what I just got off of a coaching call with an awesome young dentist. One of the things I do with Ariel is I call myself the general dentist of their dentisting life. Take this job, buy this practice, get you connected with good people. But let me hear the story first. Let me look at that x-ray and say, I'm not so sure if you should save this tooth, or it'd be a lot to maintain it. But what I just said to this coaching client was, let's just do 3 things. And what your topic of 4 things is, it can be overwhelming to try to even learn too many things at once. So the reason I'm doing these hour episodes is because I just gave a 7-hour lecture on Friday to 70 dentists in person. I love doing that. But it's a lot of information to digest, right? I got a lot of props like Nachos here. And I just think you're such a great teacher to just distill it down. These are the 4 things we're going to focus on. CBCT is great, and one of the things I'd like to share throughout this, because tomorrow Dr. Todd Fleischman is speaking on cosmetic dentistry, and he is an amazing speaker, but it's also learning about what you should do now and what you might want to refer. And what you refer now, you might do more of later. But if someone sat down to a TADS chair, or CADS chair, child age dentist, and said, I'm ready to rehabilitate my mouth, that might not be the right case for someone 5 years out of dental school. How do you know? Same thing with endo. I have to say, we had an in-house endodontist for years, and she's awesome. But I would always see, she has 7 cases. And, she's flying through 5 cases. And then I see she's in there for a while on 1 case. And I always say, what happened with that 1 case? And she said, this was calcified. So I give you guys credit. You're like, the CSI of the dental world, where you got to find these out. So share with us a little bit too, Brett, about your online program, because I love online CE. You have it in the background there, Access Endo. Tell our Nacho group what that's about.
Yeah, so this is my baby. This was a dream, Paul, that I had, and I was able to bring it to fruition. This is my online education platform on demand. It generates CE. There's over 27 CE credits. It's basically your endo education that you didn't get in dental school. And I'm with you. I'm right with you, Paul, with all your efforts to be real with dentists, be real with dental students. I think the feedback that you're getting from the dental schools tells you you're on the right track. Keep going, baby. Keep going. But this is the idea that you don't get the endo education you need in dental school to become proficient. And even if you did get it maybe years ago, there's so much more that you need to learn. Right. So I look at endodontics as a major challenge. And one of the biggest things is case selection, just like you were talking about across all dentistry. In endo, most specifically, that's your real green light, red light, whether or not this is for you. And Access Endo is a complete program for you on demand. But it's not just endo, Paul, because endo's a big hurdle. It's a big mental obstacle because you have 1 bad case and you sort of shut down. So I've also incorporated an extensive personal growth and development program within this. So it's, let's use the momentum you gain from doing that 1 case that you didn't think you could do. You're starting to do endo, you're taking it slow, you're case selecting, and let's propel you into also feeling that same type of growth and new perspective in your personal life. Because let's face it, Paul, as dentists, we encounter a lot of stress. It sticks to us like glue. Anxiety is part of our every moment. And there are great tools and ways that you can start to fight back and be the best dentist that you always dreamed you could be. And of course, more importantly, be the best person. So Access Endo is about that. It's about giving dentists a great opportunity.
I love that message. And there's so much great there. I've been very lucky to meet mentors and people who've been my coaches. One's Aldana Ambler, who's my business coach now. They can tag Aldana and Terry Brock. But Aldana came to meet with me recently. And what you just said was very interesting. So Aldana has been a person who's worked with U.S. presidents, who's helped companies grow from $500,000 to $50 million, small companies, big companies. And we were talking, and I was sharing about, even she didn't realize how difficult it was to be a dentist, because the energy that patients give you is they don't want to be there. And that's really hard to deal with. I mean, we're people too. No one thinks we are. And imagine whether people are paying us or whatever, we're often standing and sitting next to people who prefer not to be there. And that energy comes off of them. I mean, I went in there to my office last week, Brett, said, today's going to be a good week, good first day, blah, blah, blah. First patient said to me, this is not a joke. And she knows me, but she was authentic. She goes, you're the last person I want to see today. And I said, oh, yeah. That's so difficult. And when Aldana said something to me profound, and she said, really, we're all in the business of managing energy. And I mean, that's what we're doing. We're managing energy. And I want to help dentists at all stages, not totally give up on endo, but also know what to do responsibly and bring in people like you who have other endodontists. So I think your platform is awesome. And one thing I would share with you, when you become a specialist, you give up all the joy of class 2 composites. Would you like to come and do a class 2? No,
hey, man, that's the other thing. Endo and restorative really mix together. And I'm doing a lot more restorative now than ever before, making sure that everything is sealed properly. But to go back to what you were saying, it's amazing because energy is everything, Paul. And what I learned very recently in the last year is that we as dentists absorb other people's energy. Yeah. So a lot of those days you come home and you just feel weighed down and you feel awful and you want to say, what's wrong with me? Why aren't I happy? But sometimes it's a matter of having that shift where you realize I've absorbed all this negative energy and I don't have to keep it. They say return to sender with consciousness, meaning I totally respect you. I care for you, but I'm going to give you your energy back, because I'm going to go off and have a great evening and enjoy my life, because it's not just about dentisting. And that's what I love about your messages. You're getting people in the right mindset, Paul, and sharing about your family and showing your girls and showing that side of you. I think that's inspiring for a lot of dentists to see that there's more than just that dental chair, but sometimes it's hard to see that because it is so all-consuming in so many ways.
And the conversation is such great. We'll talk more of your C course, but it's when you have whenever you don't have something in life, you think it's going to make you happier. It's happened to me. You're not married. You think I'm married. That makes you happy. You don't have kids. And these are all great things with dentistry. And I think, I think you and I will do a great job. And many of the other people in the Dental Nacho Supreme C on TV, people think when you don't have money and you have debt and then you make money, that'll solve everything. But we've all seen those movies of the rich person who's miserable. And most dentists, meanwhile, I have some friends who are, do hedge funds. That's like real money. Dentists can be successful. But, a young dentist says, when I don't have debt anymore, will that make me happy? I say, you have to be just like you do with fitness, financial fitness, meditation. You have to find ways to keep yourself balanced. And it's so difficult in this dental world. So I appreciate everything you're doing. So to recap, you have Access Endo, which we're going to share in our comments here because that's a great tool. I love that you have this one lane thing, go over here and dig into endo, topped with personal growth. You're going to be part of our Dental Nacho Supreme on C on TV. And you're going to come in April. It won't be as cold as Chicago or now to see the Dentist and Team Boost Festival. You are on our podcast. You'll get to meet Rob Montgomery in person, the other dental amigo. So I appreciate that. Before we jump off, Brett, tell me one thing. I'm always a one thing person. And what is something that happens in your day-to-day endo life with referrals and dentists saying this happened, this file broke off? What's one of the biggest challenges you have to manage from a very clinical perspective? Is it getting in extra emergencies? I'm just speculating. I'm curious.
It's, for me, it's just about being available. You're in the midst of working on a patient, but I also really like to be a coach to my referring doctors. We as endodontists, we don't want to discourage endodontics in general practice because we can't do it all. So my goal and my mission is to help dentists get better. So sometimes there's a challenge of being able to be that amazing, excellent clinician that I need to be every single minute of the day, but also be available and be able to support others. And so sometimes I get caught in that time challenge. I think we all sort of race the clock in our dentisting life, and that's probably one of the most stressful parts. But in general, I guess I want to be a lot of things to a lot of people, but when one patient is in the chair, there's no doubt they are the center of your universe until you are finished and you feel that the job has been done correctly. So I take a lot of pride in that, but that's also a challenge for me day to day.
I love that. And I'll add in that, so when patients, so you have the rubber dam, and the rubber dam is nice because it gets people to stop talking. I'm a general dentist.
But the bite block too.
Yeah, but sometimes when patients are acting crazy in the chair, and by sometimes I mean all the time, I kind of take a pause and I have these, talking points, and, people don't always realize how, emotional they're being. And they so they might be resistant. They're not opening. And I say to them, hey, Mrs. Smith, if you could drop your mouth off like your car, it would be easier for both of us. And when I say that, something goes off where they say, I'm probably driving Paul nuts. I'm going to, because, do you think about it? That would be great. Drop your tooth off like your car. And my dad, I was so lucky to work with my dad for 11 years, amazing mentor and friend. Unfortunately passed away in 2016, but just an amazing person. Thanks. But what he used to tell me this as a pro of dentistry is that, when it's over, which is good because, you can't take your patients home and say, okay, I'll do your access at home. But that does create a lot of real-time stress.
Mm-hmm.
Rob Montgomery and lawyers, I don't know what they're doing. They're working on torts, brief torts all night long, whatever they do. But that's something that I don't think dental students and young dentists realize, that some of the good, being able to shut down the clinical care, is also creates a lot of daytime stress. So we'll dig into all that this season. So I appreciate it, Brett. Stay on with me. Ariel, come say bye to everybody. She'll give out a prize here. We have some text prizes here. And I have a good one. Brett, you want to get this one too. We had two amazing people come and speak about managing debt and buying a practice. So give them this one, Ariel.
Okay.
All right. Thanks, guys. Have a great day.
All right. Thank you, Paul. Great talking to you.
If you guys have any questions about the Dental Nachos Supreme, be sure to reach out to me at Ariel, ARIEL, at dentalnacho.com. Or you can shoot me a text at 267-896-4886. And if you want that amazing course, be sure to text LIFE to 267-930-2288. We hope you have a great rest of your Wednesday.